write this statement down. Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss it. Can I suggest to you that when God begins to change things, you better go with him? Because if you try to resist change, the change will destroy you. Look at the last part. He says, now it springs up. Spring means you didn't even plan it. It just happened. A spring is a natural phenomenon. Change will happen naturally, right in front of you, he says. And then he says, will you not perceive it? That means, write this down, divine change can happen without you. You can actually miss it. And so my policy is never get caught where God used to be. You got to keep moving with God, because God is always moving in time, and his movement brings changes. God never changes, but he's always changing everything. So he's the only thing or person that is constant. And that's why we cannot trust anyone or anything. Don't build your life on no human. They could be gone tomorrow morning. Don't build your life on no job. It could be gone before the sun sets. Don't build your life on no salary or no bet. It could be gone or never come. The only solid constant in life is Jehovah. God never calls himself an anchor, because even anchors are useless without a rock. He calls himself the rock. So the only safety you have is the one who never changes. I want you to write this statement down. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss it. You're going to miss the future. So if you want to make enemies, try to change something. Write this in capital letters, please. People don't want you to grow. They don't want you to leave them and they ain't doing nothing. People don't want you to advance. They want you to stay where they are. When you decide to change, your house could become your enemy. People in your house. When you decide to change something, every sleeping demon wakes up, and they're dressed in family clothes. Anybody know what I'm talking about? They don't want you to change. They want you to be just like them, and they are nothing. Change creates enemies. Get over it, okay? Stop trying to be liked. You think people like you? You'll be amazed what they say about you in your absence. You have to walk away from some of the most wonderful people in order to progress in life. And sometime to break into your future, you got to cut off the past, and that includes in relationships. There are people in this room who live in the Bahamas, but they are not from here. They had to walk away to go to their future. They had to cut off relationships. And there are people who are still back home saying, are you crazy? Enemies are alive when you start to change something. Decide that you're going to start jogging and lose weight. All your friends become your enemies. Who do you think you are? Who you fooling? This ain't going to last. You will run for 2 weeks and that's it. And they talk you out of it. Change brings enemies. Write this down. This is Dwight Eisenhower. He was a military general of the United States. He was also the president of the United States. He said, neither a wise man nor a brave man lies down on the tracks of history to wait for the train of the future to run over them. What a heavy statement. What he means is, if you don't get moving and change with change, the train of the future will run over you and kill you. Leave you behind. This is no year for you to have business as usual or to think that change is an option. We will hear this many times this year. You may even say it. Things changing. Simple statement. Things changing. What we are saying is, this is not what I'm used to. It's life. So here's my challenge. A blind woman said this. She's dumb and deaf. Her name is Helen Keller. She said, security is mostly superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. This is a smart woman. She was blind, deaf, and dumb. And she was one of the most successful women in the world. You got 2 eyes and 2 ears and sometimes 3 mouths. And you can't survive. She ain't had no eyes, no ears, and couldn't speak. She wrote. She said, avoiding danger is no safer than stepping out and getting exposed to doing something new. In other words, protecting your do-nothingness is no safer than stepping out and doing something that you might get criticized for. I discovered this in the Bahamas as a son of this soil. I learned this lesson. If you don't do something, they can criticize you. If you do something, they can criticize you. So, do something anyhow. Clap right there. That's what you need to do. She's saying that.